Hey guys, Diesel Does Fishing on our way to the pond. Well, first, we're gonna get some breakfast. After that, heading over to this little local shop. It's a little farmer's market right here in Malden, South Carolina. We're gonna grab some shiners because if you live in the Southeast, you know fishing right now is rough. I've been out 3 or 4 times. People have been asking me, hey man, how come you haven't posted any videos in a while? Well, I can tell you it's not from lack of trying. I've gone out, I just haven't been catching anything. You know, we've had these temperature shifts, anywhere from the highs of around 75 degrees to highs around 35 degrees. And that's in the last 2 weeks. So these bass are just destabilized as far as temperature, and they just aren't biting. So I'm gonna throw something natural at them and see if they might go for that. We're gonna throw some shiners or minnows depending on what they have today. But first, again, we're gonna get some breakfast. So stick around, we're gonna have some fun in this video today, and I'm gonna be testing out a loner reel. Yeah, this is the only place that I get my minnows and my shiners. It's called Malden Open Air Market. If you're in South Carolina, if you're in Malden, come and get them. I love this place, mostly because it's like 100 yards from my apartment. That's why I like this place. That's the hookup. That's for 2 dozen. That's like 40. Malden Open Air Market. This place is incredible. If you fish, if you're in the upstate of South Carolina, swing by and get. They got crickets, they got worms, they got all kinds of stuff. So this is a good spot to come if you are on your way to do some fishing and you're maybe not near a bait and tackle shop. We're here at the pond that's usually money. We got this very generous 2 dozen minnows, which is probably more like 40 minnows. But she's like, I ain't sticking my hands in that cold water. Go support those who support this channel. Malden Open Air Market, Malden, South Carolina. I know the owner of this golf course personally. That's the only reason I get to come out here and fish it. But if you would like to see me do a shiner stocking video at some point in the coming weeks, maybe early spring, then let's get this video to 500 likes. And then I'll talk to my man who owns this course about coming out here and doing a shiner stocking video over there and buy him out from minnows. How cool would that be? Now here's the secret I haven't shown you yet in this video. Oh, it's the SLX DC from Shimano. I'll be breaking this bad boy out a little bit later on in the video. Oh, look at that. How sexy is that swim bait? That's a KVD swim bait with a craw trailer, and it's got these cool little rattle chambers on the belly of this thing. Oh, that looks so good. We're gonna throw this around, maybe do a little bit of a reel review. Hopefully, maybe we'll catch something on both of these setups. We're going live bait first. We'll throw this a little bit later on, just kind of toss around, do a little review, see what we think. But let's go catch some fish. Oh, and don't forget, any fish that I catch in this video, you'll see on my Instagram account. Go follow me on Instagram at Diesel Does Fishing. That's where all my photos of my fishing adventures go up. That's 2 dozen minnows. Up first, oh, we got a big boy. Hook mine through the back because that allows them to fight a little bit more. There's 2 methods, of course. You can always hook them through the snout. You can hook them up under the jaw and through the top of their head, but I like to hook them through the back. And of course, when you're fishing live minnows, you just toss it out there and let it sit, you know? Let them swim around, let them thrash about, make some noise, and call the big boys in. We got some movement out here. That means that little bait fish is panicking. It's swimming around. It's maybe trying to get away from something. This pond is loaded with bluegill, crappie, largemouth bass, and a ton of turtles. The turtles all hang out in this corner way over here because the golfers who tee off right there love to feed the turtles. So they all stay down there. And remember, when you're fishing bobber, you gotta let the thing go all the way under. Let the fish take it. Let them get the bait fish in their mouth and try to take it. Setup notes here, if you're a gearhead like me, this is a whoop and stick, medium heavy, 2-piece rod. I think whoop and stick is like an off-brand of ugly stick.
I'm not sure. This is one of the first combos that I ever picked up, and I love it. It just works. It's not fancy. It's not bright green. It's not, on here I've got like a 8-pound test Power Pro braid with the tiniest little nubbin of a fluoro leader left on there. It's like 10-pound or 12-pound fluoro. The wind is pushing us sort of over in this direction. Off these rocks right here, I've caught a ton of fish. I caught a lot of crappie off these rocks right here. A couple of small largemouth off this spot over here, but right along through here, a lot of crappie. And I'd be okay catching crappie today. There's some big ones in here. There's like crappie in here bigger than my hand. What did I say? There we go. Oof. First bass of 2020. Right through the top of the mouth. Whew. Squeakiest of all the squeaks. But I needed this bass so bad. Oh my. All right, little guy, you fought hard. You got yourself a meal. Have a great day. Oof, you don't know how bad I needed that bass. That was crucial to get that skunk out of the boat for 2020. Insane how bad I needed that fish. Look, I get that minnow fishing is probably not the most exciting kind of fishing. There's not a whole lot of sport in it. You're throwing out there bait. You're throwing out there what they already eat. But by God, why stand on your ego when you're not catching any fish? Stack the deck, make it easy. It's all good. Nobody's gonna judge you. Now remember, if you have been with me for a long time, since the beginning, since May of 2019, that's when I started this channel, you know that there is a big fish in this pond. It had to have been at least a 6-pounder, would be my guess. Because I saw this thing come up and breach, it spit the hook, and I have not seen that thing since. That is my life's goal, to pull that big fish out of this pond. I'm not gonna keep it. I just want to catch it. I just want to hold it for a minute. But that's what we're trying to go for here today. So maybe some of these big shiners will be a tasty looking meal for these big bass that are in here. Also putting out there, if you remember this pond, this is one that is loaded with small bass, little pounders, tons of them. And we've been clearing some out over the course of the past summer, making some room, culling some of these 1-pounders out of here, putting them into other spots that need a different generation of bass. Some of these ponds that we're taking them to already have big bass, and they need little bass in there too to add some generations in there. This pond is loaded with bass. It's also loaded with bluegill, and we may do a video come springtime where we cull some of the bluegill out of here and take them to some ponds that we know could use a little help with their panfish population. And if that's a video you want to see, drop it in the comment section. Say, hey, I want to see you move bluegill. 500 likes. We'll talk to the guy who owns this place and see if we can maybe do a shiner stocking video in his pond. Get into that comment section. Let me know if a bluegill culling and restocking elsewhere is something else you want to see. I know we have little bass here, but we need to get out towards the middle, maybe where some of those bigger bass are sitting. The big bass, the 6+ pounder, is when I caught it last summer. When I hooked it, I didn't catch it. When I got it to bite last summer, it was over there underneath that tree. Now that tree provided a lot of shade in the morning. Who knows where it is now? It's not a big pond. It may be in its same spot. It may be sitting out there. Oh, no. Our shiner got taken under and it got stolen. Something got a meal. Okay, that's the way you want to play. Okay. That's all good. I think with that one, I just had too much slack in the line. And let it go. I let it kind of drift around, didn't keep my line slack, and then when I went to go hook set, I had to reel in a bunch of slack, and it just took my bait before I had a chance to set the hook. It's been calm all morning, wind's starting to pick up, kind of pushing this bobber around a little bit, and that's why it's important to keep that line tight, just like what happened on my last cast. If you don't keep that line tight and you're not ready to set the hook, that fish is going to chew your minnow or your worm or whatever you're throwing right off of that hook and take it and laugh at you and make you feel bad about yourself. Oh God, that golfer just yelled. I think I've heard that guy golf here before. That water just curses every time he misses a putt. I thought golf was supposed to be a relaxing game. Most of the fish that I've caught in this pond have been right off of this bank, right here, right off of this tree. I think this right here just goes to show you how tough the fishing is in the southeast right now. You know, first minnow, landed a little fish. After that, nothing. I mean, this is live bait. This is what they eat. And they're like, nope, not coming out to eat. I want to see if I have any bait left. You know, I think that, oh, I do. I do have a shiner still on there. Has he been hit? Looking at both sides of him. It's got a couple scales missing. Who knows? Maybe. Looking for those buff bass. Where are you? Maybe if I sing to them, they'll come. Maybe. I don't know. Come on, bass. Come on, bass. Sometimes you got to give them words of encouragement. You're the biggest bass in the pond. All of the other lady bass really like you. They think you're charming and witty. Oh, something. Oh, got one. Oh, God. I'm wrapped up around this stupid log here. Whew. You were the one making all that commotion? I thought you were huge. You are the dink. You're more dinky than the last dink. They always say it's the little ones that fight that are going to hurt you. It is. It's the little ones. They get hooked. They've never been hooked before, and they're just like, ah! I don't know if the camera caught that, but he hit the water. He jumped right back out. All right, boys and girls, this is what we're talking about here. Throwing the SLX DC. This is trust right here. This is trust when your boy, Michael, who you've hung out with like 4 times, lets you take his new $200 reel. But my God, if you've ever fished one of these things, it is smooth, silky smooth. What's great about this reel, it's got a digital counter that won't really let you backlash at all. You can just take your thumb off of the spool and just let it fly. There's a lot of people who love to stand on ceremony, do things the old way, do things the hard way. Not me, not me. One of these days, I'm gonna be a rich boy like Michael, and I'm gonna get one of these things and no more backlashes from that point. It's like being in a car with heated seats. You didn't know you needed it until you have it, and you're like, God dang, I can't live without this. See, thumb off the spool, in the wind, no backlash. It's amazing. And let's talk about the sound it makes. Whew. If you don't feel that in your plums, what are you throwing over there, a kid's reel? Got my boy over here in some sort of pocket challenge. I don't know what he's doing. Oh man, I think I bumped into that cover. I was like, God dang, I got one. Whew. That piece of cover right there has gotten me so many times at this pond. You just bump it, you're like, yes, no. We're only gonna toss this thing around for a couple of minutes, really just kind of giving this reel its paces. I can tell you right now, if you've got $189, get one, because it's incredible. It's worth the money. I'm telling you, Shimano, you make a good product here. If you got the cash, pick one up, borrow one, try it out. It's worth it. Oh no. Uh-oh, found a tree. Found that cover I was talking about. I've lost probably 2 or 3 lures on this very spot. Hey, look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work. There's probably a couple lures on this thing.